If I encourage you to live a healthy and fit life and give you reasons why, then I am not telling you to do this. I am telling you this will benefit you in different ways and have a positive impact on your life. You know what time it is. Let's talk in game. So, as you may have deducted from your expert and close investigation, today we will be talking about the difference between encouragement and control, as it seems there is a lot of confusion surrounding them, and some see being encouraging as wanting to have control. Let me tell you why they are wrong. My purpose today is to educate you on how encouragement can be taken for being controlling, and how a lot of people are labelled this way, even though this is far from the truth. As well as tackle the misconceptions that if you tell someone, hey, I think you would feel really good if you started exercising and eating healthy, rather than saying, you are really fat, you need to lose weight or I'm leaving. Some people think it is basically the same thing. Typically, this is seen in relationships where the other partner is fed lies by those around them and led to believe the other half is controlling, which usually ends in a breakup. But that's not what this video is about. If you want relationship advice, you can watch my Why Finding a Partner is So Hard video to give you more info. While it is true that some people who seem encouraging are actually giving ultimatums and are not just telling them why certain things are good for them, they say things like, if you don't do this, insert ultimatum here. But at this point, this would make them controlling and force the other person to listen because they trust them enough to think, maybe this is good for me, but also think they are not good enough. But before we go any further, we will need to first specify different types of encouragement and control. Let's start with control. So there is something called an intervention, where you trick a person to do something for their own well-being, or help them in some way. For example, if they are addicted to drugs that are slowly killing them and are harmful, or if they are an alcoholic and refuse to listen to any advice. This can be considered a type of control, but should only be used when someone is on the brink of death or drug/alcohol poisoning, or are threatening to end their life. Then we have what I call abusive/threatening control. This is where someone that is close to you abuses you physically, mentally, or threatens you, if you don't do as they say. If someone in your life is like this, don't be too afraid to tell the authorities, as this is actually illegal and people can be prosecuted for this. So that's control for you. Moving on to encouragement, we have psyching up. People usually do this for each other to encourage them to do good in maybe a race or during a workout. In sports, people usually have a coach who psychs them up to get their energy going. This is a positive type of encouragement, but you do need to know how to do it for it to work. A treadmill test was performed by 28 students from Bloomsburg University of Pennsylvania, which was designed to elicit a maximal effort in less than 12 minutes. One of the groups had no encouragement at all, and the other group had the encouragement every 20, 60 and 180 seconds, with prepared text using statements like, come on, good job, excellent. When looking at the outcomes, there was no significant differences between one test and the other with no verbal encouragement. However, the second test values were significantly higher. So you see what I mean by you need to know how to do it correctly. Next up, we have nagging. This is the type of encouragement that is things like your mum telling you multiple times to get out of your bed because you're being a sloth or tidy your bedroom until you do. It's a repetitive action of telling someone to do something until they do it. So you can see there's more to it than just control and encouragement. Both of them have good and bad connotations. This shows that before assuming anything, you should properly look into it yourself. If you believe everyone for their word, then that makes you no smarter. My motto is, if in doubt, Google it. Even your parents might be wrong about something. I mean, when you were a child, they fed you a lot of lies to keep you innocent. So it really doesn't seem like you can trust anyone. In other words, be skeptical and investigate yourself before accusing someone of something and destroying relationships. It is so frustrating for the other person if something that is not true gets spread around about them. So don't do it, if you don't want the same happening to you. I believe in karma, which the basic premise of it is don't expect to do something hurtful to someone and not have the same or worse happen to you eventually. Whether you believe in that or not doesn't matter, as it is proven in everyday life. But I'll leave that for another video. Keep an eye out if you are interested. There is a right and wrong way of saying things, and I can understand if someone is offended if it is not correct. But most of the time, if the person is close to you, they are most likely looking out for you. How they go about it depends on the person they are. Make your own judgment on this one because everyone is different. Now let's talk about friendships, as this relates to the spreading of lies a lot of the time, or leading you to believe something that is not true. In this case, the person being controlling. So going back to my trusting video, the amount of time you are friends with the person and the memories you have had with them does make them a sort of authority when it comes to decisions in your life. And especially when they tell you something about someone, you are inclined to trust them and believe what they say. This is where the conflict happens, as it means they have the power to feed you a lie and you will just eat it up. Now if you are not gullible, you will investigate yourself first. However, this can also lead to conflicts with the person, so if you do decide to take this further, try and not be too obvious about checking. If you reassure yourself by investigating for a while and you don't find the dirt you are looking for, you will most likely question the person that introduced this lie, or question your friend's intentions, or at least you should. I don't want to ruin your friendships, but I do want to tell you not to believe everything people say. There is a lot of fake friends in this world, and they are usually easy to identify. Try and open up to them, and see how they treat you. You will see their true colours. If they introduce you to evidence, take the evidence with a pinch of salt. At this point, it's best to confront the person that it's about with the evidence, and see how they react. Do keep in mind with today's technology, all it takes is a person who is decent at Photoshop to fake the evidence, so be careful. Okay, so we come to an end in this topic. All in all, my main message is question everything. If you always believe word of mouth, it's not going to get you far in life. Instead of taking everyone's word, do your absolute best to disapprove them, especially if it's something about a person close to you, and you do not want to lose them. Imagine the thing you are told is about you instead. You would try and dig up evidence to prove them wrong. We went into a bit more depth today and introduced a few other things to this topic, so I hope you don't have too much trouble wrapping your head around it all. Watch it again if you have to, and thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's video and learned something. Any questions or suggestions, then that's what the comment section is for. Don't forget to follow me on social accounts as well. I will be adding to them in the future. As well as like and subscribe, it is always appreciated. For today's gameplay, we have the beautiful game that is The Outer Worlds. I was truly blown away by the graphics in this game. Very interesting story and lots of characters to meet. I will definitely be carrying on playing this game. And as always, let's talk in game in the next video.